I'm through. Please believe in me.
باش نتكلم على 10 dernières secondes ان شاء الله. Believe by Lenny Kravitz. Welcome back. It's 205 in RTCI. Achraf Aouadi Mouheb Garoui. Welcome to RTCI.
Welcome, thank you.
I think people have become familiar with IWatch because you are everywhere. I think you should have observed the US elections.
They should have budget us.
Probably next time.
Why not?
I want to start with the trainings that you are conducting in the regions.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the training, we just started yesterday, last week by training in Tunis. Actually, it's part of a whole project with Slovak organization called Pontis Foundation, and this project is a capacity building project that would last for 1 year. It started last September and would continue to the next September. So the first part of this project is to conduct several trainings about advocacy and strategies of successful messages when you start your advocacy campaign. So last week we started in Tunis and we trained our members. And this week we were in Gafsa training our IWatch members and other civil society activists from Gafsa. So this activity was to enhance, is aiming at enhancing the capacity building and the capacity of these young people, and to teach them how to advocate and how to lead successful campaigns for advocacy. And next week will be in Kairawan, and in December will be in Jerba for to train our members there. So this is part, as I said, of a whole project with Pontis Foundation and Slovak AID, which is the foreign ministry department, which is financing this project. So
why is it important for IWatch to go to the regions?
I think it's really important for us to be there in the regions and not keep on centralizing everything as so many organizations and plus the government are doing. So the idea is to go to the regions, not only to go but to leave the regions, but also leaving some expertise with the people that they can use in everyday life. The problems in Tunis are not the problems in Gafsa. Then the people of Gafsa should have enough knowledge of how to face and solve their own problems, how to make successful campaigns to change the status quo and to change the everyday life and the challenges they're facing. So that's very important for us, not only to go there to train our own people and our own team in IWatch. No, that's not only the thing, but we always encourage our regional chapters to be the incubators of the civil society in Gafsa or in Kirwan or on Jerba. So we're there to help, provide them with the expertise that they can use, not necessarily with IWatch, but in their own activities, but in their whole daily life.
Can you give us an idea about the challenges that you're facing in the regions?
For me, I like being in the region, so I don't face many challenges, and I think it's just the opposite. People in Tunisia and in Tunis are not interested, and in the regions they feel like they're thirsty for knowledge. And when we organize trainings here in Tunis, a couple of people shows up. When it's the case in the regions, a lot of people that are interested, and I want to really apologize for those who cannot really accommodate their will to be with us. But I feel like working in the regions is way better from being here in Tunis. This is my own impression. I don't know if my shares the same opinion.
I totally agree with you. I think these people in the regions, everything is centralized in Tunis. Big NGOs are in Tunis. The government is in Tunis. The most important media is in Tunis also. Embassies are in Tunis. So I think those are living in the regions. When I say the regions, I don't mean like Sousse or Monastir, but I mean
remote regions.
Yeah, the remote regions.
Basically.
Yeah, and I think these regions are thirsty for knowledge, as Achraf said, and I think this is part of our duty to share experience. Not, as I have said before, I said to teach, not to teach, but to share our experience at least with these people. And I think we have been doing this for more than 1 year now, and it's going to be 2 years now. So I think we got some experience. At least we should not keep this experience for us, but the most important thing, which is
It's to share
the experience with these
It's
people.
not, just to add, it's not only to share the local experience, and the idea is we try to find the right people, we try to learn and then share the knowledge we get. While we worked, for instance, with the Pontes Foundation, because they went through a similar experience like 20 years ago, they went through a transition. So for us, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. Just like people who went through transitions, they made mistakes that we should not do these mistakes, so we try to learn from them, and then we make our own Tunisian experience. But again, what I really blame other NGOs for is not engaging with the citizen. We're not here to teach people in our ivory towers what to do. Let's engage them and do everything with them. Let's make them feel this feeling of citizen ownership, that with what we are doing now, we're not making people feel this ownership to what we are doing. Then do not expect people to be part of your projects if you don't bring them in while doing these projects. And this is something, unfortunately, neither the government nor the other NGOs are working on and doing.
We'll talk about the government and the other NGOs. We will have just a short break with music. Wafa would like to listen to a very nice song. So we will be back in about 4 minutes. Born and raised by Joy Dinalan. Welcome back. It's 2:15 on RTC and we are talking about IWatch. Achraf and Mouheb, do you believe the IWatch experience has been a success story?
Yes, so far yes. With all the challenges we went through, but I think it's successful. At least this is what the people are saying.
That's what the people are saying. What are you saying?
I think yes. Somehow it is successful, but I think that we've just probably we gave 5%. We still have a lot of things, a lot of ideas to implement. Always the challenge of finding the right donors, facing the conspiracy theory, but still we have a lot of things to do. And now we have, which is really good, that we have strategy from now to 2014. Just looking for the right partners, the right donors, and
Are you still facing the conspiracy theory?
I think sometimes it's good to listen to the conspiracy theory because they're not always wrong. People are not always wrong, but sometimes we international funds are always, they kind of delegitimize the efforts of local NGOs. So if you can make it without, so you better do without.
Can you make it without?
Somehow yes, if you know how to do the right management. So far for IWatch, for instance, we got only a part of an amount of money that I can share, which is 4,000 euros from the Slovak aid, and we've been renting, doing activities only with this amount of money, and we've been conducting a lot of projects. I think that if you manage to motivate people, you can make it. Other NGOs, they face challenges not because lack of financial resources, it's because of lack of human resources. We don't have this challenge. We have enough volunteers motivated, believing in the message.
You need the money.
We do need the money, but for me it's probably the third thing that we need. We need a good motivated volunteers. We do have them. We need a good and strong network. We do have it. And the financial support, we can create it if we have the two first conditions.
Mouheb, how can you go to the regions if you just have 4,000 euros?
I think
I'm wondering.
Yeah, you tell them where
I
did you
think,
spend the night.
I think the success story of IWatch is, apart from successful projects, is successful financial management that we have in IWatch. So in IWatch, people see that we have lots of projects and lots of activities, but with sometimes with 0 millions, let's say.
But you have studied international relations and not management.
Yeah, it's not my job
You
to
learn it
deal
the hard way.
with finance, but we have some excellent finance managers in IWatch. So I think it's quite easy for us to have this amount for 4,000 euros and to go to the regions and to train IWatch members, because the most important thing for us is not to have trainings in hotels or trainings with a luxurious lunch or a luxurious dinner, or I think we just need the basics
to meet the people.
The basics to feed the people and to have these trainings. So for example, last 2 days in Gafsa, we spent a night in like a youth hostel.
Yeah.
Auberge. It's a youth hostel for 6 dinars per night.
Which is very good. I
Yeah,
encourage
which
you
is
to use
very
it.
yeah. And we just had a dinner sandwich for 1 dinar, 1 dinar and a half. So I don't think it's important to spend the night in a hotel for 80 or 90 dinars, as some NGOs would prefer to do. But the most important thing, which is to know how to deal with the amount of money you have when you have 3 people going to the southern region with just 150 dinars.
I think you react in this way because you belong to the masses. You belong to the people.
Which is good, because sometimes it's always you have some place where you spend the night, which is something I like. Personally, I'm from Mouheb from Kirwan, and by the way, I want to tell Mouheb's family that we're visiting on Saturday.
We're ready to have you.
So it's always good when you have this huge network, especially members. Then it's always you have a shelter where to go. But the feasibility of the project is really the challenge. When I talk to some other colleagues or friends, when they start speaking about the challenges, it's always financial. It's not, because you can make it without finance. And when people you see you doing it, I remember one of the best comments or messages I've ever received on Facebook was that a Tunisian living abroad sent us and saying, "Could you give us your account? I want to really donate money to IWatch." We did not ask, but I really appreciate it, because if people appreciate your efforts, and then go to the second level, which is financing your efforts, then you're in the right track, and people believe in what you're doing.
What about IWatch Juniors and IWatch Junior Project?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
The new generation.
The new generation, yeah. I think I consider them as the future leaders of IWatch. As you know, we're just students in IWatch, and one day, maybe next year or 2 years after, we'll be leaving IWatch. So we will leave IWatch in safe hands, and I think IWatch Junior will be taking the lead on the leaders now in IWatch. And I think these people really deserve our trust, and day after day they're proving that they deserve this trust. And this concept came after that we noticed that these young people are just under 18 years old. They need to be to be introduced to civil society arena, and they're not really engaged into fighting corruption or pointing at corruption or enhancing transparency as we do, but they're just engaged in volunteer work, charity, donations. This is their main work, and then I don't think that they're part of IWatch, but I think they're IWatch, because they are now ready to hold conferences, press conferences, and they're ready to make partnerships. They're ready to do their own projects and to come up with new ideas. And I think they're not dependent on IWatch seniors, but I think they're independent and they're ready to go on their way. And I think they're, as I said before, they will be the future leaders of IWatch. And
yeah. I think the first thing is we're really proud of them. And sometimes when we say IWatch Junior and then or leaving IWatch in safe hands, people think that we're old. We're not. The average age in IWatch is 23 years old, but still we're thinking of the future of IWatch. Being a student, especially in your final years, means that you're in transitional phase. You'll be looking for a job, you'll be probably getting married if you're a girl or a boy, and then you don't know, probably you won't be an IWatcher anymore. Then for us, we started to prepare in this transition a little bit early with the IWatch Juniors. What we did is just we invested time in them. For a couple of weeks, we just taught them leadership, and then we started to see that they're starting to change and they want to move to action and implement the things they've learned. And then we said, okay guys, we can now get you an IWatch, but still not fully IWatch members. We want to see you guys dealing with corruption and elections too early for you, but it's kind of introduction to community service and volunteering. And then we were surprised and even amazed with what they did, because now they had their own projects. They signed their own memorandum of understanding with other NGOs. They organized their own press conferences. They invited TV and media, and they spoke eloquently in media. So we're really proud of them. Sometimes we exhaust them with logistics. It's just that we want them to know the details and the very details of organization. If we leave IWatch now, I think they can manage and run it the right way.
Mouheb, high school students are probably listening and they'll watch the video on YouTube and on my Facebook page, Instagram. How do you select IWatch juniors?
Well, in IWatch we have two principles, which are no trusteeship and no exclusion, and we don't have any criteria for people to be selected to get into IWatch. But I think the most important thing for IWatch Junior is that you don't have your baccalaureate degree, so you're just a college student. So this is the first and the only criteria that you have to respect. And once you get your baccalaureate, you just get promoted to
college.
No, promoted to IWatch, IWatch senior. To IWatch senior, because we want to stress that once you have your baccalaureate, you will be promoted. And this is the most important thing, is that we focus on your studies, for example.
Yeah, the only thing that I want to just add as a condition is the full consent of the parents. We're in direct contact with the parents of the IWatch juniors. So if the parents say no, you're not going to any meetings, this means that you're not going to any meetings. The full consent of the parents is really important for us. The second is your school results. If you don't get the average, then you are kicked out of IWatch juniors.
So you don't accept rebels?
You can start if you change. If you're improving, you're fine. But if you go below your average, the moment you joined IWatch junior, so you're kicked out of it, and you're only accepted if you get better results.
We'll have a short break with music. We'll listen to Lenny Kravitz. We'll be back after the news update to talk about the upcoming elections, the Whistleblower of the Year campaign, the online map application to track and to report corruption. Enjoy our next track. We'll be back. Stay tuned. Born and raised by Joy Dinalan. Welcome back. It's 2:34 in FTC. Wafa Bouzaida is our maestro, and I'm your host Adnen Chaouachi. We are talking about IWatch with our guests Mouheb Garoui and Achraf Aouadi. Gentlemen, you are planning to monitor campaign financing or campaign finance for the first time in Tunisia and in North Africa. How did this idea generate? Go ahead.
Yeah, so
Achraf.
seeing what happened actually in the last elections, the need for such an initiative started to emanate.
The need for speed.
The need for really speed. And then again, the same challenge, which is the challenge of expertise. And so you should find the right partner to work with you on this project. So we find IFES to support us. And then it started with a series of trainings. So the know-how, getting the right knowledge to do that. Of course, being in touch with experts, especially Cour des Comptes. And of course, we were really shocked when we saw the report of...
Shocked?
Yeah, the Cour des Comptes. Something that we should all agree about, that almost 90 to 80% of the campaign finance comes from the taxpayers' money. That's a public money, which means what the parties are spending is the money that we paid for as taxes, which means the money that normally it should go for development and investments. So if people misuse this money, so it's 80 to 90%. So if we take just a party like CPR, they got almost 90% of their funds from the public money. Plus
they don't have funds.
Yeah, we do really understand.
That's according to leaders.
It's really good to have always the government finance political parties, not to get them taking money from suspicious sources.
Yeah.
But they should use that money wisely. But especially they should report back to the money they spent. And this is the problem. People, they don't report back. People, they get funds. I don't want to use the word illicit funds, but let's say from nowhere.
You have already used. You can explain.
So we're now in the track of preparing the mission to observe elections. But frankly speaking, if the law will remain the same, we better don't observe, because the law doesn't penalize the wrongdoers. The law is so vague, and plus it's kind of unique and one of a kind. It's never seen in any place of the world. The Tunisian law for electoral campaign and electoral finance is so loose in a way that encourages people to misuse the money. Probably Mouheb is well briefed on this because he's working on a manual.
Do you really believe that we can monitor campaign finance?
Well, this is one of the most difficult challenges and operations for during the election process. And elections are not just voting on the election day, but elections are just a whole process, which starts from let's say the setting up an election management body, go into the election laws, and then to campaign period, then to election day, and the registrations of voters also. I think this is the first experience in Tunisia's history and the history of civil society organizations in Tunisia observing campaign finance, which is something new for us, something new for Tunisians to know that there is a body which monitors and observes the expenditures of political parties during campaign periods. And I think it needs a lot of to change the mentality of all the stakeholders who are related to campaign finance and who are related to elections. And as Achraf said, there is quite vague legislations now in Tunisia concerning campaign finance. For example, the election law does not really define what is the meaning of campaign expenditures, for example. Because if you do not really define what is campaign expenditure and what are your limitations to campaign expenditure, you cannot limit yourself, and you allow yourself to spend money on whatever comes to elections. And I think IWatch experience is going to be something unique and exclusive, and this is the challenge for us, because we are not experts, but we have at least some expertise that we would like to share with people and to share with civil society NGOs in Tunisia. But I don't think that the experience of campaign finance would be just for IWatch, but it would be just for all the NGOs in Tunisia.
Interested in it.
And those who are really interested in monitoring campaign finance, and maybe one day we'll be sharing our experience with our brothers in Libya and brothers in Egypt or anywhere of the Arab world. So I think this experience will be the first experience after the Arab Spring, and the first in North Africa and the second in Middle East. And being young organization and youth-led organization, monitoring election day in addition to monitoring campaign finance is something really challenging for us. And I think 2013 will be a big year, the year of IWatch, and I think
the year of the challenges.
Yeah, I think
so
maybe next year, November next year, will be inviting us here maybe, and you'll ask us the same question: was IWatch experience a success story or not? And at that time I can answer if it was a success story or not.
Can you really change mentalities without imposing laws?
My personal opinion is we cannot. I mean, it says like you take 7 days to change a regime, 70 years to change the system, but 70 years to change the mentalities. I think which is true. But if we encourage people, I mean, it happened even with the religious books and prophets. When they came with a set of rules that ask their own people and followers to abide by. I think it's really the same. If there is nothing, people will not see the difference between transgressing the law and not if there is no law. So I think the first thing is that let's start with a law that encourages transparency, integrity. But the problem is what example to follow. If this government doesn't give the example, do not expect people to respect the laws. There are lot of laws every day, like every single day, like we are seeing government officials transgressing the law, and this is not really the bad example.
Are you just talking about the government or also about the National Constituent Assembly members?
That's another story. I mean,
that's another story.
Well, I mean, I can spend the whole day speaking about the ANC, what they're doing actually. We do understand that they're completely overwhelmed, but when it comes to Tunisia's interest, I cannot tolerate anything. I cannot really accept it. When we are voting the Higher Commission for Elections and you only almost 20 people showed up, that's really catastrophe. That's a calamity for me.
20 people?
Yeah, it's almost like 23 people or something like that only showed up for that meeting, and they needed to postpone the whole assembly. It doesn't make any sense for me. We're paying you guys, just remember.
Achraf Mouheb, last time Achraf came here, I personally thought that you'll come again to talk about the elections, but it's not the case. Are we ready or not yet?
We're
Yeah.
not.
No, we're not ready, and I think we'll be ready after when we establish the election management body, which is the EZ, and later on we just leave the work to the EZ to set the election law, and then the election when this election law will be passed, then the EZ will start preparing the voter registration and all the logistical and administrative needs for the elections, and this requires at least 4 months to start preparing for the elections, and later on we start the campaign period and
So if we're done with, by December we're done with the legislative part, it should take at least 8 months.
8 months.
To prepare, because again, like what Mouheb mentioned, there are like 4 months when you start the voter registration and all the procedures, and then you should give at least 4 other months for parties to get ready to know the districts, to their campaigns, their lists, and then to start their campaign. So I'm not seeing these elections before September.
It's too late.
It's very late. If
So
we start now,
we can't talk about June 2013.
No.
we can
It's
talk
not
about
realistic.
that. We can talk about that if we don't want fair and transparent elections. If we want fair and transparent elections in the international standards, it can't be organized before next September. Frankly speaking, I know that a lot of people will be upset. Political parties, especially the opposition, they will be upset. But I don't care. But I really care about the Tunisians' interest. These elections shouldn't take place before next September. Of course, provided they start working on the law, and we're done with the law by December, which is something that really surprising, seeing the debate taking place now in the ANC.
they're just on the Article 5 out of 36, so
5 out of 36.
yeah, I think they need to boost their work,
They're not serious.
and I think
Oh.
the most
Can we use
important
this
thing,
term and say that they are not serious?
They're not. They know this.
Yeah,
They're,
I think they will finish by December if they attend all the meetings and all the
Which is impossible.
which is impossible for especially when it gets cold and raining.
Yeah.
I think it's impossible for them.
And it's the same problem in summer.
Yeah.
they will find always the right excuse. But for us, like as when we organize the Model Constituent Assembly, and we are, one of the commissions that we worked on is the Legislative Commission, and we took on purpose the issue of the commission, and we managed in 3 days to come up with a whole electoral law, a law for the commission. And by the way, the ANC adopted the first article that IWatch drafted.
We'll listen to a very nice track and we'll be back to talk about the Whistleblower of the Year campaign, the online map application to track and report corruption, and the recent reports about the 30 million dinars. You probably have an idea about this problem. Let's listen to Fiesta by R. Kelly. This is for the beautiful Faisal Meji, who is still here. Enjoy. Now the recent report about the 30 million dinars misused by the EZ.
Shall I start first?
Yeah.
I have a lot of things to say about this. We worked before with Kamal Jandoubi actually after the elections. During the elections, that was not really the person that we appreciated the most. But there was a lot of clashes with that gentleman that we still respect a lot. After that, we had a campaign, lobbying event with him that kind of blocked the government's project to make of this independent higher commission a national one. Now we're having this new leak saying that there is a misuse. It could be true, but frankly speaking, especially for the government, if you have a problem with this person, you should have enough courage to say this. I think it's a political issue, a political dilemma. That first thing, if there is a misuse of resources,
Public funds and
public funds, there is a court that you can go to. The second thing, we should know again the context. There was no resources put at the disposal of Kamal Jandoubi at a certain point, and then I remember that half of the badges of the observers of IWatch were not printed. So there was a lot of things to be done, a lot of things to be printed in a short period of time. So I think even if you are studying marketing, you know that you should pay extra. So if you are comparing the price for normal circumstances with the price of really urgent circumstances, so for me this is not fair for the guy. This is not even like economy itself. So I think that people are trying to make it make of it a political dilemma. If you have, especially the Troika, if you have problem with that person, just say it, and we will understand. But just making to tarnish the reputation of the person, not to make of him a candidate for the next EZ, then I think we risk to lose a lot of expertise. We lost already all the EZ regional chapters, all the EZ staff. We lost a lot of expertise, so now it's turn of Kamel Jandoubi that everybody knows that elections were fair and transparent when he oversaw them.
Mouheb, do you believe that talking about the 30 million dinars is a way of getting rid of Kamel Jandoubi?
I don't think that Kamel Jandoubi needs or is looking for someone to say that he's credible or he's transparent, but I think Kamel Jandoubi has a long history before the revolution, and he said that he did not come and after the revolution. He was fighting and he was struggling before the revolution, and now he was one of the safeguards of the elections, and he spent days and nights working for the benefit of this country. And I think that saying that Kamel Jandoubi misused the 30 million dinars, I think this is a legal issue, and this should be taken into to a court.
Do you know that Sir Kamel Jandoubi didn't see his father for 20 years? And even when his father died, he couldn't come to Tunisia.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of, I mean, apart from the personal respect I have for that person, it's always that we try to, people or let me say the government, they try to drag us into.
You can say. Even if you were on KSI, you can say.
Yeah, yeah, I know. That's why I appreciate being here with you guys.
Okay.
The problem is they try always to make us debate the wrong debate. This is not the problem. The problem is the Article 4, the Article 5 that we're still stuck in. And they'll be refused to be head of EZ again. So it's not really the problem of the person. We should come up with a good institution with good laws. But if we have a credible person like Kamel Jandoubi that Tunisians kind of have a consensus around, that everybody trusts, then it's going to be better for EZ. But without the person, we should have a good institution with a good and clear laws. Now we see political parties try to make of EZ itself part of the political game. I know people still have political ambitions, but they should be within the frame of a transparent and fair elections.
We'll have just 3 minutes left. I want to talk about the Whistleblower of the Year campaign.
Yeah, the Whistleblower of the Year campaign is an purely IWatch initiative. And we launched this campaign as a kind of reward for those who have been reporting cases of corruption, and they have been somehow threatened.
Related to
Related
the elections?
To, no, not
any case of corruption.
Any case of corruption, and we hope that this initiative will be supported by the different stakeholders in Tunisia, and this will be sustainable every year. And
what do you mean by the different stakeholders?
Different stakeholders, civil society, citizens. The government, political parties, opposition, everybody who is interested in fighting corruption and reporting against corruption, which has been the issue now in Tunisia, especially after the revolution, and now we are waiting for the Transparency International report of 2012 to see where we are now in fighting corruption. So I think this reward of Whistleblower of the Year is kind of reward. Will be given names very soon for those who will be contestants to get this award, and now we'll start this initiative to say to these people, you're not forgotten. You will be rewarded by civil society, by citizens, by the public, and your work was not passed unseen. So.
What about the online map application to track and to report corruption?
So the map application is just a platform that we're now in the phase of creating, that we put at the disposal of people. So through your mobile phone, through your email, Twitter, you can just report a case of corruption. If you're here, somebody asks for a bribe, you can just report it, and it goes public. So the aim for us, it's a platform where people...
But you have to provide the proof.
People can always, if you manage to get any evidence, if you can take photo or video, record the whole conversation, it gives you this possibility not only to report it, but to enclose and attach the proof with that. It's a little bit risky, but we prefer to go in this project. Sometimes I know that
Risky. What do you claim it's
people
risky?
can misuse this platform. People with bad intentions can use this platform. That's why the more we get people participating, the more the bad reports or the fake reports will just get lost within the crowd of all the reports. So for us, it's something that directly can report. But just, I want to go back to the whistleblowers award.
1 minute.
Yeah, the first thing, what does the word whistleblower mean? That's somebody who saw corruption and he said, I will go public and report this case of corruption. And basically, they risk a lot. They risk their careers, their jobs, and even their safety. So we want to reward these people and tell them that society did not forget about you, but also want to bring again to the media the issue that some other people tried really to hide. So it's again, let's bring it to the media, let's bring it to the outlets of newspapers, and let us speak again about their issues.
Do you have a message for our listeners and the people who will be watching you on YouTube and on my Facebook page, RTC, the English language program?
First thing, keep listening and following RTCE, and you don't need IWatch to help your country, just do it your own way.
Mouheb.
Yeah, this is IWatch role is engaging citizens, and I think we're not here to teach citizens or to teach people, and we are here to share our experience and to get these people engaged in preventing or guaranteeing the gains of the revolution. So that's it.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I would like to thank the Maestro Wafaa Bouzeidah for her valuable technical assistance. You can watch this interview on YouTube and on my Facebook page, RTC, the English language program, next news update in French and the German language program. Until we meet again, I'm your host Adnen Chaouachi. Stay tuned to the best radio in Tunisia. Stay tuned to RTC. Wonderful Life by Lara Fabian. Enjoy. Bye-bye.
Ta-da!
Not staring here on my own.